Like, what is it Doody's case that he gets to be in this call? My wife is so much better than DSP's wife. You get no personality from his wife. Sneak this.
Agreed. And one of the things that I had talked about was why he wanted to come on your podcast.
Like, here's my thought. Not to say like Doody's never done me wrong, right? He's always been fair when it comes to like troll channels. But why is he in this call? Like, what is it Doody's like case that he gets to be in this call?
His brand out to a different group of people, maybe someone like-minded, like he stated about you, that you guys are like-minded. And he was hoping that maybe he can get some attention, bring some folks from your podcast to watch his streams, and hopefully a few of them would eventually become whales and support him. So he continually does this every like 6 months.
So you're trying to say because he watched all the like the Mr. Metacore videos that he's an expert because he knows the lore? I'm not getting into the call. That's not going to happen. This is something that Caveman's like, this is what they want me to react to.
A grown man, video game posters in the background, multiple times a month, online begging to get his bills paid. Grown man.
Sneak dissing. Sneak diss.
He has to have some type of like fetish or something of being a victim and being ridiculed and being mocked. Like there's some type of addiction here,
right? And we've talked about the addiction side of it as well. And when it goes back to the idea of addiction, when you're addicted, you don't realize that you're addicted. You know what I mean? Or that sometimes you just don't know how to quit. You think of any sort of smoker or somebody who's addicted to alcohol, an alcoholic or drugs or whatever it may be. And it's very hard to admit that you're addicted. And I think that's kind of the craziest thing about all this is I felt that
this isn't very good. I want to react, but like I'm just listening to the narrative. And if you notice, like right here, this man has every fucking thing on his computer on his hotbar. Like the whole thing. I don't know why that bothers me. Look at it this way. God, what's that guy's name? Zevron? Was it Zevron? It was a guy that played like Diablo 3, and like he was in a wheelchair. And then one day, toward the end of his stream, his wife called him, and he miraculously got up out of his wheelchair and went that way. And I don't think he got any kind of repercussions other than getting banned off Twitch for being like, kind of like being deceiving.
We need to get a lawyer in here. Craig, let's get a lawyer on the show.
Get Nick Rekieta in here. Where's Nick Rekieta at?
This is just guys shooting the shit. Like the thing with like DSP and like fraud and like donations and stuff, it's like it's very muddy water, right? Like, for example, like one of these like female streamers like wanted to get butt implants, and like one of her simps went out of his way and like took a book bag, a really nice one, like a JanSport or some shit, and he took a book bag and he went to her house and left the money to get her butt implants on her porch step with a note, like just $100 bills, blue hundreds. And it's like, if she took that money and instead of getting butt implants, did something else with it, what recourse would you have? Because like you went from a judge, the judge would be like, did you leave the money on her doorstep? Did you leave a note saying it was for this? There's been a lot of court cases about this. Like, for example, like administration fees for like charities, right? Like, because if you ever notice, like when you donated $1 to charity, like say you donated $1 to like feed the kids in Africa or something like that, the kids don't get that whole dollar. They might get 33 cents of that dollar because the money gets divvied out in certain ways. There's administration cost, there's marketing cost, there's logistics, there's equipment. The dollar gets divvied out different ways, and then like 33 cents of that dollar actually makes it to getting to the food to that kid. And like I said before, especially with like YouTube and like super chats and things like that, it's a donation. That's what it is. At the end of the day, you're donating to the person because you like their content. And like these people are coming at PHILS like donators and like using derogatory terms or whatever they want to use with them. Some people might actually enjoy PHILS content and actually want to see him do better. And like to me, they're coming off like they're advocating just for tough love. And like, does Phil need a little tough love? Sure, but not everybody reacts to tough love, right? Sometimes they react how Phil's reacting, get super defensive and just get, pushed further and further back. My forehead's so big. Just because my forehead ain't so big. It's just that it's fucking, I'm bald. Yeah, but it is what it is. Like, I don't really want to react to that. Because, like, that's just guys shooting the shit. There's no real juicy things there. You get rich, you got 100 with a name on a bet. Phil has had the truth and countless people trying to help him in his face plenty. Finds dude is too jaded and stubborn to listen. Well, like, I get lumped in with Phil a lot too. Because, like, you know, I'm considered an e-beggar. You know, it is what it is. And, like, you know, in a way they're right. I mean, like, I do rely on people to pay my bills every month. You know, I rely on donations to pay my bills. Because I don't really make any other content at this moment other than this. But at the same time, it's like, because I make so little and I have to reach a certain threshold to make my bills, does that make like somebody that makes $3,000 a stream, like XQC or somebody like that, does that not make them in the same job title as me? Because like in the end of the day, Phil's an entertainer, right? And it's the same as like Patreon or whatever it might be. Like you wouldn't call somebody that creates like Let's Plays for Patreon the same as Phil, right? It's just different people like different things. What I agree with Keemstar on is Phil has so much untapped talent and he's allowing himself to be jaded, which I understand why he's jaded. And it's hard to get there, especially if like, I ain't gonna hate right here. This is gonna come off so badly. My wife is so much better than DSP's wife when it comes to like, you know, being supportive, wanting me to succeed. You know, like I have a better person in my corner than Phil does. And the reason I'm making this claim is because his wife never is on his streams. His wife is never, you know, you get no personality from his wife. She like exists in the background of his life. And like, I feel like Phil, and I'm saying this strictly because we don't get no context outside of what we get in front of Phil's camera. I feel like Phil has to take the brunt of the responsibility in his household on by himself. Like when a major life bill happens in the Burnell household, it's not him and his wife sitting down at a table being like, all right, what's the best way to do this? What way do you want to do this? What way do I want to do this? What way do we decide on? It's, I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess we'll put it on the debit card or put it on the credit card or we go get a loan, you know, like that's, to me, it always felt like Phil's answer was to put it on a credit card. Like I said, that's why I put the stipulation out there, Troy. I can't say this, but I'm only assuming this because of how Phil acts and the fact that we get no context outside of how Phil acts. But Skeezy, how do you know that? Like, you don't even know what she looks like. Like, when's the last time you seen Kat or no? Because, like, there was a huge thing on the internet that they got a picture of Phil, like, at a stoplight, and they thought, like, Kat gained all this weight. But, like, I'm looking at it. That's not her. Was she on live stream recently? What mic stand is this? This is a stage ready. No, it's called On Stage Stands. It costs about $150. Like, I want to change this stand, but this is a good. This stand's held up for years. Like, it's solid metal. It's real heavy. Like, you literally, it probably weighs about 30 pounds.